Hello, good morning, and welcome from the Ashaiman constituency. We are just by the main highway in this particular constituency, and it's now time for Hard Talk right here on GH1 TV.
By MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Right, so yesterday we were in the Ewutu Senya constituency to speak with a young MP-elect, Kojo Opong Nkrumah, who won his electoral contest to represent the people of Ofuasi Ayirebi in the eastern region. Today, we are back in the Greater Accra region, and the similarity between yesterday's conversation and today's is in the age of the MPs elect, because I have another member of parliament elect who is under 40 years old. He's actually 35 years old, a procurement officer at the NADMO, soon to be retiring, he tells me. Resigning from there to concentrate on parliamentary duties, Mr. Ernest Norgbe, the grassroots man from Ashaiman who won the contest. Good morning, welcome to the show, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you, thank you.
What did it for you in your electoral contest?
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to thank each and everyone from the Ashaiman constituency, the constituency executives, the regional executive, the national executive, and the branch executive, and the grassroots of the people. I want to thank each and every one of them and congratulate them for a very good job done. In actual fact, we did a lot of work. We did massive work by reaching out to the people of the constituency, telling the grassroots, the people, what President Mahama has done for Ashaiman constituency and for that matter, Ghana as a whole, and also tell them what I'm bringing on board. Who Ernest Norgbe is. I'm campaigning on the team leadership of care and concern, and I did that. So I'm telling them, I told the constituent what exactly that leadership of care and concern means to the people of Ashaiman.
Leadership of
care and concern.
Care and concern.
Yeah, that was what the team I campaigned on. So actually, we went to house, room to room, any place, spot to spot, mosque to mosque, church to church, to preach to the people, the good people of Ashaiman, what we intend to do, what the job opportunities that I am going to create for the people of Ashaiman, and what President Mahama is also doing for the constituency. So I think basically that made the magic for us.
Explain a little bit further what you mean by leadership of care and concern. How are you going to care for the people of Ashaiman? How are you going to show concern for their needs?
Yeah, you see, the people of Ashaiman, my constituents, they don't need anything much from you, the MP. They want you to be there for them. They want you to show some sort of concern. Wherever they are in trouble, you must come to their aid. Whenever they are having a social activities, you must be there present to them. You must bring yourself down to them. You must make yourself available to them, always to be approached. You must also make sure you are in constant touch with the people. Those are the basic things that they need. And also how you'll be able to create some opportunities for them, such as jobs and other things, whether informal jobs or so and so forth. These are some of the things my constituents need, and that is exactly what I campaign on. You must show that you are with the people, you are also a grassroots man. Whenever they call you at any given point in time, you respond to them. Whatever they ask you to do, talking about maybe outdooring, funerals and those things, you associate yourself with them so that they feel that you are also part of them.
How do you feel to have won the constituency battle but lost the national war? And I say that to mean
the presidency.
Yes, you've won here, so you represent the people of Ashaiman on the ticket of the NDC here, but nationally, President Mahama will soon be jobless as far as the presidency is concerned.
Yeah, that is a difficult something to be talked about, because we were not expecting this kind of result.
Really?
Yeah, we were not expecting this.
That means you're not in touch with your people? How come you're not expecting?
Yeah, if we look at the work President Mahama has done, or the NDC government has done, in Ghana. I think it's second to none.
What work? What is the
The
work?
developmental
that
project,
Mr.
even when you talk of Ashaiman
Amadi?
alone, we have this main road that we are now, this major road. He has built a cheap compound, about 4 or 5 cheap compounds in Ashaiman, one at Tulaku, one at Tribelew, and some other places, Jericho. He has also brought us a new SHS, that is the Community Day SHS. He has built about 500 capacity library at Ashasek. He has also uplifted a health center to become a polyclinic. He has done a lot, 2.5 million euros Safisana project, biogas project, that will turn fecal matters into biogas and other things. He has done a lot of work, developmental project in Ashaiman. Going to Lebanon again, you have some GHS, a 2-story basic school built there. So if you look at all that he has done, using Ashaiman alone as a case study, then you can imagine what might have gone on in other 274 constituencies. So we were thinking, we were of the view that the Ghanaians are going to give us another mandate to continue the good work he's doing, but hey, that is democracy, that is politics. Maybe the people wanted milk, we didn't give them the milk. So it's just like that. It's a difficult situation, but we have to manage, we have to regroup, organize the party from the base, organize the party from the grassroots, so that 2020 will come back with full force.
Do you think Ghanaians nationally, on a national level, were just ungrateful, considering all the things that you listed, even in Ashaiman alone, that the president had achieved in terms of infrastructure?
Well, I can't say they are ungrateful. There are so many factors that went into this election. And as I sit here, I cannot vividly say we lost the election with that margin, because we have some other factors that went into the election, which we are very much aware. But we want peace in Ghana, so
what
we have to...
What factors are you talking about, Mr. Norgbe?
The EC came out to say that somebody hacked into their system. Somebody hacked into their system.
Was compromised.
Yeah, when the system is compromised, definitely you have to know that something has gone on wrong here. And when you look at Whole Central like this, Whole Central, their result that was on the pink sheet was 53,000 for the NDC. But what we saw was about 44,000 in the newspapers. I spoke with the chief executive over there yesterday, and he affirmed my this thing that it was 53,000, but why is it 43,000? So a lot of factors.
So is he going to protest?
Well,
if he feels that he was robbed,
well,
what did you advise him?
He's a mature person. She's a mature person. She has to take the decision. Since our president has come out to concede defeat because he wanted peace, and he promised Ghanaians that this election, whatever the outcome of the result, he was going to accept. He has accepted it. We wanted peace. Even after winning the election, the NPP winning the election, you can see what is happening in Ghana.
What is happening?
Hijacking toilets in Ashaiman here, beating up people, toilet, and then toll booths, going to lock up offices. It's uncalled for. It's amazing. So you could imagine if they had not won this election, if the election was to be declared in favor of President Mahama, maybe would have been the country would have exploded as of now.
You talk about the hijacking of toilets and toll booths, and yesterday I was following the news. So the Ashaiman toll booth was the scene of some action by the invisible forces. Have you involved the police in all these hijackings that you claim?
Sure, I've spoken to the police, and they assured me they are going to deal with the culprits. And then I try also calling the hierarchy of the NPP in Ashaiman here, but to no avail. So
why did you politicize it? Why didn't you just leave it with the police? Because these are, if it's hijacking, then these are criminal issues. Why bring in politics?
No, it is a criminal act perpetuated by a group of people who belong to a particular political party. It's a criminal act perpetuated by a group of people belonging to a particular political party. So definitely we have to tell them to call their people to order, because you've won the election. Wait, we still have a government in power. We are in the transition period. We will transfer power to you, and you will take over everything. Anyhow you wanted to do it, you will do it. But it is not in your ambit to begin to hijack the things. And most of these things are given to people on contract.
Are you disappointed by the level of response from the police?
Well, I should be disappointed, and I am disappointed, because I was of the view that they could have responded quickly to the act, because they started this thing the night that they declared the result.
Even in a constituency where you won, where the NDC
yes,
won?
Yes, they started that night, because that night started receiving calls that they are beating them to leave the toilet scene, to leave the areas, to hand over and those things. And then I reported to the police. Now you see, when it is political season like this, the police always think that when they take any action, quick response, one political party will be thinking you are siding with another. So sometimes they are lackadaisical in their dealings. So that is what has brought us.
What is the response from the NDC here in Ashaiman? Because in other areas I've heard some of your executives warning about a possible response from your members.
Yeah, the hierarchy here in Ashaiman has also issued a statement to the MPP to that effect. And I personally spoke to some people and I told them, hey, the gentility of a tiger does not mean stupidity. We just want peace. So we need peace in Ashaiman and even beyond. So it takes two to tango. We are quiet. You are doing your own thing.
My colleague Kafwede, inside the Ashaiman constituency, having that conversation with the member of parliament elect, for that area. I think I failed to ask that you could as well send in, messages of your expectations of your MP elect. So if you're a resident, if you're constituent of the Ashaiman constituency, you want to begin to sending, those messages. Tell us your excitement. Indeed, is he your choice of candidate? What are your expectations of him as he seeks to or as he now goes into parliament to represent you in that constituency? But I still am receiving a lot of messages, from the breakfast review segment. Bismarck Ochedako from Sakumono says that let your panelists know that Mahama did not lose just because there is a general wind of Mahama did not lose just because there is a general wind of change in the world. The election was a referendum on Mahama's abysmal performance. He should merit the electorate as decisive people. Well, you say that, and this is once again from Sakumono, Bismarck Ochedako. Emmanuel says that your panel is not saying the truth. NDC were arrogant and we're attacking Nana's personality and insulting everybody, including the pastors. So please, I think that if you're talking political insults, it was both ways. So I won't even go on, with this one, Emmanuel. Let's be factual, okay? Good morning. My name is Adongo Mac at the Michelle camp. The problem of the NDC is our big men and women were not listening to the cry of the grassroots members. Most of them have the perception that after 8 years, they can't win. So they, as in the big guns, were gathering for themselves only. Gathering what for themselves? You need to be specific, Adongo, on this one. What were they gathering for themselves? I'm taking us back to Tamale, where Abdullahi Abdul Razak, General, says NDC members must stop peddling those lies about the NPP and go back to the drawing board to do their homework well. Nanado represents peace. It's a lot of your messages coming in. And Martin from Mankranso says those doing that should be arrested. And you mean those who are perpetrating those acts of violence, vandalism and criminality should be arrested and prosecuted. Nanado doesn't even know them. They probably might be criminals, you say. All right, moving on to Paul. And Paul says, please tell the NDC man to stop disturbing Ghanaians with their fake stories. President Mahama is still in charge and they should arrest them just like they used to do. Nanado is a man of peace. Beswa always debates NDC on every issue. Oh, you mean that I always debate the NDC on every issue? Oh, really? All right. Well, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But for me, I just do my work as a journalist. I stay neutral, whether we like it or not. You go on to say that call from BA to find out if the person who burns the toll booth is not NPP. It's not an MPP supporter. How about the invincible forces taking over the toll booth at Tema? Are they NDC? Well, you ask. Don't massage what is going on. And your name is Charles from Kumasi. Good morning, Charles, and thanks for that message. Please tell the NDC man that when they came to power, they did worse than that. I remember well in Kumasi where they were chasing people out of public toilets, toll booths, and it's high time both parties put a stop to that act of vandalism. I'm happy you ended like this. It doesn't still make it right. Okay, that because it had been done in the past, it had to be repeated. All right, a lot of messages. Honorable Jaja should be objective in his presentation. I will be the last person to associate myself with that, with what these miscreants are doing. But in 2009, the NDC supporters killed several people. You know what? Abdul Salam Jua, and indeed the originals from Bimbila, I can't substantiate the killings. So I will move on to another message. And this indeed is the last one. And then we take a quick break and return with more on your award-winning show on morning television, GH Today. So Ofake from Bubiashe says, I don't support any attacks on persons or properties, and any human with his or her rights in his right senses. I will not attack fellow human beings for any reason. My door lock has been destroyed by an NDC woman and her daughter in the house I live when they wanted to beat up my sister after the election pronouncement whilst I wasn't at home. This woman virtually insults anyone who passed our house with an NPP paraphernalia. The seizure of state property started with NDC when they won in 2008, so people think it's time for revenge. All right, I think we've said time without number that two wrongs definitely do not make a right. We are a peaceful country, we are peaceful as a people, and we want to continue to enjoy the peace, you know, in our beloved country, Ghana. Just before that I take you to this break, the Honorable Yusuf Jaja, just before he left, he said I didn't allow him to shout out his constituents. So let me read this out on behalf of the Honorable Yusuf Jaja. He says that extend my profound appreciation to my constituents, Ayawaso North constituency, the people of Mamobi East, Mamobi West, Accra Newtown, the imams, the clergy, and all the opinion leaders, and indeed to my family. And he says that I really appreciate the support this period. All right, on that note, King Kaf is ready to get back to us from Ashaiman constituency with MP elects of that area.
Facilities. And it appeared we also refused to tell the people what we intend doing the next 4 years, which did not go down well with the people. All that we were saying is, oh, we have built circle interchange, we have built schools, we have built hospitals. So is that all? What do you intend to do in the near future? When somebody is promising one village, one dam, one district, one factory, what do you also intend to do for us? And you see, we bought into those assertions that President-elect Nana Akufo-Addo is going to give us one district, one village. Ghanaians bought into it. How did we counter these propagandas? We couldn't counter them. So we were so much into the game to extent that we thought we had won the election already some months ago. So we were just doing the superficial activities without descending to the grassroots. We have forgotten that we were in power for 8 years. Though President Mahama 4 years, but NDC 8 years. And definitely there will be despondency and there will be dissatisfaction about one or two things. So we have to go. Whilst Nana Akufo-Addo was begging the people, we were laughing at him that he was begging them. We were laughing at him, but it has paid for him.
How important was the theme of corruption? Because the MPP campaigned on an anti-corruption drive theme, and they hammered it and said they would deal with corruption, loss of money from the coffers, and that was part of the reason why Ghana was broke. Did you not hear those messages?
Yeah, we heard those messages, but you see, that is another way I will also criticize. When you always open up, you want to fight corruption. Before you can fight corruption, you must identify it. You must open it up. You must let people know that something is happening here. Other than that, you cannot fight corruption in the dark.
But did the NDC open up and fight corruption?
We open up everything that went wrong in Ghana.
Like what?
Like the JIDA, the SADA, the Woyome case. Sometimes we ourselves will have to report corrupt activity that has happened or in a particular area.
But that's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Exactly, that's the right thing. But at the moment you open it up, the moment you say to people that, oh, this person has done A or B, then people outside, the opposition will take it up and say, hey, corruption.
Would you have preferred that the NDC covered up some of these things?
No, not at all. You can never cover it up. But we tried to fight it, and we were fighting it, but it has turned to negative for us. And what we need to do is to educate Ghanaians that before you fight corruption, you cannot fight corruption in the dark. You must always open it up. You must always let people know that there's corruption. And that is the only way. If you expose somebody name and shame, that is the only way we can fight corruption. But if after, you see, that is the democracy. After fighting it or after opening it up, revealing the corruption, then opposition will take it up and blow it to a extent that Ghanaians will think that, oh, the cancer has eaten into the fabric of the government to a extent that there's no hope for the future for the people of Ghana. So that was what happened actually. So that was the right thing we did. We need to educate Ghanaians that you cannot fight corruption in the dark. Definitely you must expose it. So if any other party or any opponent is coming out to tell you that what happened in Kufuor's era, you cannot match it with NDC era. A lot of corruption went on, but just that even President Kufuor said some of those things he cannot expose them, otherwise this party will go into position. And you and I know very well. So you can imagine the kickbacks.
Are you saying that Mr. Mahama was too honest?
Too honest.
You think he was too honest?
Good. Yes.
But some would say he wasn't honest enough in dealing with the problem and punishing those who were found to have done the wrong thing.
Yes,
that cost him the election.
But you also know that we are in the democratic dispensation. This is not a dictatorship that you identify that there's corruption going on, then you arrest the person and put him in jail. You must follow some processes, some due processes. And he has done that. He was too honest to extend that he has allowed himself to well, I don't know.
Was he in touch? Was the president in touch with what was happening on the ground?
Yeah, he was in touch. He was in touch, but he was not in touch with the grassroots.
So then he wasn't in touch?
He was not in touch with them. He knows what was going on, but you see, most of the times too, it all boils down to the people around you, what they tell you, the advice they give to you, because
you think they gave him wrong advice?
I cannot say they've given him wrong advice because I may not know what actually went into those advice. But what I'm saying is, whatever somebody tells you, you are in Accra, you don't know what is happening in Ashaiman Council, you don't know what is happening in Ziavi, my village in Go. So when somebody comes from Ziavi to tell you that something is happening there, so you must look at it very well, critical. You have to pay heed to it. Don't just sweep it under the carpet because that person is a puppet coming from that village, so what he's telling you does not worth it. There are a lot of things that we hear from the villages, from the grassroots, and when we relay the information to our leaders, they seem not to take it seriously.
Are you happy with the president-elect's plan to get an independent public prosecutor to go after those who stole our money?
Oh yes, I'm happy with that because all the same, we all want to fight corruption. So anyhow is going to fight the corruption so that at least Ghana will also be a safe haven for us or for the future yet unborn. It's good. I support that idea. That independent prosecutor should continue his good work. But just that, the only advice I will give is it should not be witch hunting.
How do you mean? I mean, if you were found guilty of having done something corrupt and you are taken in, it doesn't matter what party you support, does it?
Yes. But when
what would you define as witch hunting?
Yes, what I talk of witch hunting is maybe going after every minister or every government official.
Not every government official would be corrupt.
Yes.
Ernest.
You see, what happened to Chachuchi Kata was a total witch hunting. You understand? Because as we speak now, the court has come to free Chachuchi Kata about any wrongdoing or of any wrongdoing.
He went to court and won an appeal.
Yeah, he went to court and won an appeal.
Somebody thought he was guilty of some crime.
But the medium
served the time, he came out, and then he went to the court and got an appeal.
The circumstances surrounding his jail will be termed as witch hunting.
Are some NDC executives, party members, uncomfortable with this idea of an independent public prosecutor, especially when it appears that Mr. Martin Amidu may be the gentleman who will fill that post? Are some of your party members and executives uncomfortable with this?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they should be uncomfortable with it.
Not your few, but have you met anybody who feels?
No, nobody has. Nobody has even talked about it yet. Because if you know your hands are clean, why will you be scared of anything? If your hands are not clean, you must be dealt with. That one here, the law must take its course. Because we want to fight the corruption and fight it totally in Ghana. President Mahama has started it, and we hope and pray that Nana Akufo-Addo will also continue it, so that at least we are the young ones coming. The future will be clear for us.
I've been listening to a lot of radio stations sympathetic to the NDC just to get a feel of what they are talking. And a lot of the people who call in or speak on the shows are counting all the promises that the NPP made and hoping that they can fulfill them, almost sometimes in a sarcastic way. How big do you think the task is for the president-elect?
No, the task is so huge. And I doubt any government or any president who will come after President Mahama, whether that president or government will be able to match up with the developmental project. President Mahama has set a standard that it will be difficult for any president to match up with within 4 years. So if you say one factory, one village, one dam, reducing taxes, we are all waiting to see. We just hope and pray. They are genuine ideas, and they are very good, laudable ideas. We just hope and pray that he delivers on those promises so that Ghana will be a better place for all of us.
Let's switch now to Parliament, because God willing, by January 7, we'll take off the elect from your name and you will now be the member of Parliament for Ashaiman.
Yeah.
You're going into the House where you will be in the minority with about 104 seats now from a high. You lost some 40, 50 seats, possibly. NPP gained 50 seats. You lost 40 something, and then they also took away some of the other seats there. I don't think you plan on being in opposition.
Definitely not.
How are you preparing yourself to speak in the House of Parliament?
Well, talking about speaking in Parliament, I'm just looking forward to have a very good working relationship with everybody, the minority and then the majority, and have that collaborative posture in the House, so that I will be able to speak to issues that are of great concern to Ghanaians, issues that are of great concern to the people of Ashaiman. I'll speak on them devoid of any political inclination, making sure that what I know, what I feel is right, I talk about it. And I think that is, I always want to speak my mind on issues that concern the generality of the people, especially, not because I belong to one particular political party.
What will be your priorities when you enter the House to represent the people of Ashaiman?
Well, my priority is to represent the people of Ashaiman very well and represent them to their expectation, and also make sure that we deliver on their promises, the promises that I gave to them, though it will be difficult, but
yes, because now you're out of power.
Yeah, you're out of power.
And when we came here a few weeks ago to speak to you in your constituency, the main issues were jobs,
yeah, and
sanitation. And how are you going to deliver on those?
Yeah, we will try as much as possible. I have a plan B. Maybe I'll have to fall on some NGOs and then other benevolent to see how we can do that. And
the plan B is for what? For jobs? For your
yeah,
people?
the plan B is to fall on NGOs and then some well-wishers who will be able to assist in the creation of those informal jobs for the people, and also helping the sanitation problem in the community. So definitely you cannot leave the people like that. It will be difficult though, but we were giving these promises with the hope that we'll be retained in power and that it will be easy for us to deal with this. But
you didn't have a plan B
that is
in the event that you lost the election?
That is why I'm saying that we have plan B.
You have a plan B?
That is where we are going to fall on the NGOs and then the other listen to see how.
Are you not just saying this because you did not have a plan B, but now that you've lost, you have to create a plan
Not at all. I have a plan B. Even yesterday, some journalists were with me. I stated the same position. We had a plan B that in the plan B was in the unlikely event that we lost. These are some of the things we have to do to satisfy the people, because we gave them hope, and that was when they voted for us in the constituency. You cannot say that because your father is not in the kitchen or your mother is not in the kitchen, so you should starve the people. Definitely, we have to do something for them.
The level of sanitation and cleanliness in Ashaiman could definitely be improved.
Sure.
What are the creative ideas you have to make Ashaiman cleaner, smell better, look nicer?
Yeah, I don't know whether the government of the day will still go by the National Sanitation Days. If yes, we'll strengthen it through the assembly. If no, then I have to institute my own policy that I have, that is help Ernest clean Ashaiman. That will always consistently be cleaning Ashaiman on a timeline, and also making sure that the fecal matters that we gather from here can be sent to the biogas plant so that it can be transferred, can be processed. And I'm saying that very soon, if you don't take time, rubbish and other things in Ashaiman constituency will be an expensive commodity, because we need them in the biogas so that we can get the fertilizers and then the biogas itself, and also 5 megawatts of power that will be fed into the national grid. So also making sure that the drainage system, I'll liaise with the assembly, and I just hope and pray that the new MC who will be coming should have that collaborative motive so that we can work together to develop Ashaiman community.
It's not supposed to be a legal form of transport as far as taxis are concerned, but the reality of the fact is that the motorbike taxis are a reality in Ashaiman. I remember when we came here a few weeks ago, you said that you would work with them, you were not going to ban it or anything of the sort. What are your plans now?
Yeah, my plans are still the same, because it's not a legal venture business. So what I plan is to, when I go, I will raise it on the floor of the house, that they should legalize it. And legalizing it, they have to give them some modalities, the modes of operation, how they are going to operate. Some of them are not having licenses. Some of the motorbike, you cannot.
You think you get support for the legalization of Okada? When you
whether I get support or not, I will raise it. I'll raise it on the floor. So, and I'm sure I'll have to lobby some of the MPs to also side with me, because we cannot ban Okada in the community. Looking at the traffic situation, what is more important is to legalize it, and also their modes of operation. We have to. Most of them are not having licenses. Most of the motorbikes are not having licenses. You cannot distinguish between Okada and then an ordinary, maybe an ordinary person going to work with a motorbike or coming from work with motorbike. You cannot distinguish between them. We have to look at those things. We can also go to extend that some of the motorbikes work in the night, and we can admit of the fact that they also create problem for the pedestrians, for the taxi drivers, and for the trotro drivers. We have to couch a modality that may not hinder anybody's activity, any of these activities. And also some of them work deep in the night, and that is where they cause a lot of criminal acts. People use them for criminal acts. So when they are licensed, as soon as something goes wrong, you begin to know that you trace it and you know which motorbike is involved in this particular activity. If we have to go to extend that midnight motorbikes will not work, if any motorbike is working, found by the police officer, they could arrest or whatever. We have to look at the modalities and see how we can incorporate it in our daily activities so that it will not hinder anybody's work.
I remember your opponent from the MPP, Alhaji Labarang Yakubu Bari, held a contrary view to it, and the audience at that time made him feel exactly what they felt about it. Speaking of Alhaji Bari, though, have you heard from him since the election?
Yeah, he called me.
Did he call to congratulate you?
He called me to congratulate me. Yeah. And after that, I also called him once, and we spoke. So we are all looking for a good working relationship in Ashaiman community, because he also has a good plan to develop Ashaiman. I have seen other contestants, my opponents, they all have their good plans. So we all come together and see how we develop the community.
It's good to hear that you're talking terms. The election has been put aside.
Yeah.
What's your message for the youth? You're a young man, 35 years old.
Yeah.
Quite a few young people in parliament this particular time. What's your message to the young people of Ghana?
Yeah, my message to the young people of Ghana is to be calm. They should wait for their turn. They should not take the law into their own hands, especially to the NDC youth who are always angry that they've lost the election and they are sitting down, their leaders are sitting down unconcerned. I have to tell them that they should just relax. When you lose election, that is not the end of the world. They should just compose themselves. Let's rather regroup. Let's forget about the election, 2016 election, and think about 2020 election, regroup, and then fight a good fight that will give us victory in 2020. And to the whole youth of Ghana, let's be calm. Let's learn from our leaders. Let's take some experience from them. Let's take some cue from them and also be on our own, because the future belongs to us. We should not engage in any criminal activities that will deter us from maybe any political office that we might have thought we would have in the future. Let's all be calm and then read very well to attain the knowledge that we wanted in the Ghanaian society.
Member of Parliament elect for the Ashaiman constituency, Ernest Norgbe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I wish you the best in the House.
Thank you.
And after 100 days, we'll be coming back to check on what you have done for your constituency.
But I didn't promise you anything on 100 days.
We'll still come and check anyway. So that was a hard talk live from the Ashaiman constituency with the Member of Parliament elect Ernest Norgbe. My name is Kafuide. Back to the studio at Platinum Heights with Beswa and the team.